Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have an incredible show for you today. And in case you missed it, this is
the Hey Poopy podcast with
Dave
and Ellen, two curious people who are
removing the stigma from your stinker.
Yes, we are.
It needs to be removed. But we have a great episode today. We have, actually, this is really special because we have an actual paid sponsor. Fart Vac.
Yep.
The one and only Fart Vac is now a guest. And Terd, the inventor, the mastermind behind this amazing gag / just funny talking point gift. Yeah, he was fantastic, really funny, dry sense of humor, but like the guy was just a delight to talk to. And he gave us, which we talked about, which you have to listen to the episode to actually learn about what this is, but we learned about a thing called the double-facing Chi-Chi Gong.
Ooh.
Yes. I
almost forgot about that.
Yeah. And it was something that was brought to us by Terd on the show, and we might have to make some merch out of this because it's pretty awesome. First of all, the name alone is pretty amazing.
Yes.
Double-facing Chi-Chi Gong. And the only way you're going to know about what that is you're going to have to listen to this episode. So,
there's a cliffhanger for you guys.
Yeah.
Also, what is a Fart Vac, you're all asking? Well, it's a handheld device to help you remove the fart from your underwear and filter it through a carbon filter so you're not making a big stink.
Yeah.
And Terd is a father, so stinky father farts are something he doesn't want to spread around the world.
Yes.
So he invented this fantastic contraption that I mistakenly have misplaced the one that was gifted to us. I need to get another one. I have no idea. I was bringing it around everywhere with me, and then poof, it disappeared.
Well, we'll have to get another one.
I know.
And since we're going to get a new one, I think everyone out there should get a new one.
Yes.
And we actually have a promo code of Hey Poopy. So if you go to fartvac.com, you get a little bit of discount.
Yes.
Just by listening to this show. So is there some incentive to go buy and support a local, no, it's not local, but a small business entrepreneur?
Yes. Who wants to prevent farts? Sounds are hilarious, but fart smells are terrible.
Yeah.
So let's prevent the smells that are coming from your tuchus.
For sure.
And it's the gift that keeps on giving. Give it to your friend as a gag gift. Give it to your family member as a gag gift.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
Holidays are kind of coming up. I mean, it's like a gift that like literally you can use for any occasion.
Yes.
So birthdays, bar mitzvahs, quinceañeras, maybe. I don't know.
Have you been eating too much meat and your summer barbecue fun and your farts are toxic as hell? This might help you.
Yeah. So enjoy this episode. Also, have you heard about our Patreon?
Yes. Patreon is the only place now where you can get our cartoons.
Yes.
We are currently putting our cartoons into film festivals, so we took them off of YouTube. But if you want to see the 10-part epic series by Matthew Holtzclaw, Patreon is the only place to see them.
Yeah. Or the film festivals that we're hopefully going to be getting into. No, I'm sorry. Let me take it back. We are getting into.
Yes,
so.
we're already in one, which I'm very excited about. We're just waiting for the other ones.
Yeah.
But also, what can you do on Patreon? You can get merch. You can advertise with us. You can find out who our future guests are and ask them interesting questions that Dave and I could have never thought up of on our own.
Yeah. Also, I mean, it's just a cool place to go.
Mm-hmm.
You get all the you sort of like an insider with this podcast. So
and you get ad-free episodes. So join our Patreon right now. If you don't want to join our Patreon, if you don't want to give us money, that's fine. But can you please leave us a fantastic review because the podcast needs it? Go to Apple Podcasts, leave us some 5 stars, and write a fantastic review like this one. 5 stars, so much fun. I never thought farts and poops could be any funnier. Thanks. And it was written by DLB718. Thanks, DLB718.
I wonder who that could be.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I didn't write that.
He sounds like a fantastic fan. So be a fan, be a friend, leave a lovely review.
Yeah. And don't forget to subscribe.
Yes.
Or you can leave a message at 203-998-5579. That's our own custom hotline. Our operators are farting by.
Yes. Or email us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com. Do you have a funny story you want to read anonymously on the show? We can make a mini-sode of all your fantastic stories. Or if you have just anything crazy that you want to share with us, like another fabulous product like Fart Vac, you want us to review or interview these people, we are always up for suggestions.
Yeah, we take it all. You could be on the show, you could leave a message. I mean, which is an all-inclusive show here, by the way. Like, there's not many two shows out there that you can actually write a review and possibly be a guest.
Yes. But please, send us all the information, email, call. We love it all.
Yeah. And do enjoy this episode with Fart Vac.
Yes.
Fart Vac is the world's first fart vacuum and filtering system for your farts.
Using a hand air pump with activated carbon filter, Fart Vac reduces the stench of your flatulence.
Take responsibility and reduce your fart smells. You can now fart without shame.
Fart Vac also makes a great gag gift for those gassy people in your life.
No more pain while fighting nature and holding in gas.
Join the proud movement to embrace your body's natural functions with Fart Vac.
Use discount code HeyPoopy for $2 off at fartvac.com or search Fart Vac, FARTVAC, on Amazon for purchase. Ever wonder what happens after you flush your toilet?
With events and classes from flushwash.org, you can be a sanitation superhero.
Flush is educating the world about toilets and sanitation while partnering with organizations for change and access.
Events and classes are available on the website calendar at flushwash.org under services.
Flush is also available to host private events.
Pick up some of their super cute swag with playful toilet cartoons.
And catchy taglines to wear and show your toilet pride.
Become a sanitation superhero with flushwash.org.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. It is dump day and we are here for you.
And this is the Hey Poopy podcast with
Dave
and Ellen. This is episode 128, but it'll always be number 2 to us, our favorite number. And we have a very, very special guest.
Welcome to the show, Taryn from Fart Vac. Thank you so much for being on our show.
And if you
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
and
of
if
course.
you want to say your last name to school us, you totally are welcome to.
Yeah, my name's Terd Ferguson, and I'm the inventor of Fart Vac.
Yes.
Amazing. Very cool.
And to our audience, they might know a little bit about Fart Vac because not only is this an awesome invention, they're an advertiser with us.
Yes. And one of our awesome, we have a Father's Day mini-sode gift guide that came out, and that was one of the products that we talked about.
Yep, we suggested.
It's a perfect Father's Day gift.
Yes, it is. For all those happy farters out there.
Yeah.
Well, we're hoping it catches on, and Ellen, I hope you're producing more gas than you were prior.
I know. I was testing it out, and I literally was like putting the other end of the hose to my face, and I was like, "Is it working? Is the carbon working? Do I smell my own farts?"
But it's a fun gift, fun little invention, and we're gonna get into all that. But since you're on the show, we have to ask the question: how have you been pooping? How have your poops been?
They're always great. Pretty consistent. It's an area in life that I'd say I excel.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you know the Bristol stool chart? Do you know what number you are?
I'm on a not too hard, not too soft, nice. I think was it number
4?
4 is your ideal?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm pretty consistently in that realm.
That's
Nice.
Awesome.
Averaging 1.4 a day, I'd say.
Wow.
Nice. That's pretty good. That's really healthy.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm happy. Good high fiber diet, trying to some clean eating.
It's better than the other way, being backed up. So that's good to hear.
True.
Ellen, how have your poops been?
This morning I woke up and pinched off a 3 as soon as I sat on the toilet, so that was fun. Then I went back after my coffee, pinched off another 3, and it wasn't a weird, like almost like Z-light shape. I was like, that's strange. And then as soon as I stood up from that turd, I was like, I feel like there's something left in the cannon. So I rubbed my belly a little, sat back down, and made the weirdest 4. It was so skinny and long. I was like, what the hell? How do you have like a 3 that's like thick and hard, and then all of a sudden this skinny long turd that like follows it? Makes no sense.
I mean, it happens. those things, you can't really explain it. Ask goblins.
Yeah.
I went to the bathroom right before this, like maybe a half hour ago.
Oh.
And it was like a weird 5. Just like, I don't know. There was
little loose in the caboose.
I mean, it was like solid. Like this, they came out. It was like nuggets, but they weren't like hard number ones. They were just like. But I mean, I don't know. I was like, as long as I went. So, but yeah, nothing super exciting. Unfortunately, I went to the bathroom a bunch a couple days ago. Had some really spicy food, and there's actually really kind of like healthy poops.
Wow.
Like 4.5, shockingly, but. The spicy food's really attacking my digestive system now. I can't eat spicy food that much anymore. I love it too. So, but we'll get through that battle someday. We'll see.
I ate like way too much popcorn the other day, and was thinking like about you, Dave, because I know popcorn really makes you go. I probably ate like 2 massive bowls by myself.
Nice.
And I surprisingly everything was normal for me afterwards. So I still want to do an experiment where Dave and I eat the same foods for a while and see what happens.
Yeah. Science.
Biology.
And Dave, if you stuck with spicy food, would you eventually acclimate? That's the real question.
I mean, it never bothered me before, but it's like when I do have it now, it just really like, as I'm getting older, it's just like upsets my stomach a lot more than it used to. I don't know if I'm just, my body's just breaking down and decided that like we can't handle this anymore. So, it sucks because I love spicy food. But, so now I have to kind of pare it down a little bit. I have to go mild, which I'm sure my mild is someone's hot, but you know what I mean.
So, Tara, tell us more about you besides your poo, and what is Fart Vac? Tell the audience, like, why is this invention so important to be out there? And why did you come across inventing it?
I think calling this invention that important is probably a stretch, but I'm a father of 3. I work in the automotive industry and have some background in fluid dynamics, and that using some of that expertise, I've realized that one, farting is something that's just completely natural, and yet it's shunned by society.
Yep.
We'd much rather live in pain holding this thing in. And that seemed wrong. I think the world's getting more accepting of embracing our body's kind of natural desires and functions and not being so embarrassed about them. Yet, culturally we force people to hold these things in. I mean, there are people who are married and never fart in front of each other and would rather live in great pain. and then I think the younger generation, you get to, I don't know, a date. I don't know what the magic date number is. Like you sleep with someone after a certain number, and then there's another number, which is when you can finally fart in front of them. And it's great. It's a magical thing, and I think a lot of people have broken through this barrier. And the point of the invention is really to mitigate the smell and also just give a reason to talk about it and make it more normal and healthy. And also, maybe get people thinking about their diets and having more fiber and having more farts, but maybe less noxious. And yeah, it's a ridiculous invention. Everyone seems to want to shove it up their ass, which
woo, don't do it.
From a fluid dynamics perspective is probably more efficient, but none of that material is medical grade. It's pretty cheap stuff, so it's not recommended. I don't know. It could probably give you anal cancer in long-term use and maybe get it stuck up there. There are a lot of a lot of people go to the ER for things like that. So the
we've covered a lot of stories.
Just vacuum the farts out before they seep out of your clothing is the idea behind the invention.
And for those that have not seen it, it's basically just a tube, and then it has that like air pressure thing that you do for your like blood pressure, and then the other end of it is another tube with a carbon filter, so it filters out the smell.
Yeah.
Yes, it's essentially a very simple hand-powered pump to suck air from between the cheeks, pump it through a filter. And you can remove the filter and weaponize it and shoot your farts at people. That's one of the reasons the tubes are so long. It's also it's one size fits all. So a 7-foot person can buy this and not cut it down, and a little person can use it and cut the tubes down. So one size fits all. Everybody farts, no matter their...
That's true. This is true.
So did you invent this because you're a father? Did you invent this because you're very gassy? Like, what brought you?
What was the impetus for this?
I used to be really gassy. I mean, 2 standard deviations from the mean, like a very high producer. And so that was probably part of it. But I'm a father, but I'm also a child. I never grew up. I think farts are hilarious.
Yeah, they are.
They are definitely.
If I'm at a busy urinal, and someone farts, I'm the loudest laugher every time. So, that just never changed.
That's awesome.
It's a great litmus test.
Yeah. How long did it take you to develop it, bring it to market, roughly?
Yeah, I did a lot of testing before.
A lot of farting?
Yeah. And there are a lot of early prototypes, and essentially this thing it's assembled here in the U.S., but all the components are made in China, like anything
pretty
built from plastic type materials.
Yeah.
And so this is the first time I had manufactured something that involved dealing with, essentially suppliers abroad, and they had a whole lot of holidays I didn't see. The game plan was I think I probably started late last summer, early last fall. I wanted to have it ready for the holiday season, and it wasn't. So I think it first went on sale in February.
Cool.
Oh, okay. That's still pretty quick. I mean, I would have loved to have seen the people like on the other end reading the blueprint, like the diagrams and like the schematics going Fart Vac.
Yeah.
Like
other than the LLC that paid them, I don't know if they really ever fully.
Right. They're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Run it down the line. Oh, that's so funny.
And so do you have like a warehouse full of these, like, or is it?
If you want to call a garage a warehouse, yes.
Hey, it's still a warehouse, right?
Yes.
Still counts.
We have plenty of inventory for this to go viral and catch on.
Yes.
So,
nice.
Waiting for that to happen. Until then, cars have to be parked outside, I guess.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's cool. A little DIY warehouse. I like it,
I mean, Dave and I have done plenty of stories on the Hearer about that. There's the science behind if you fart in front of your significant others, you're actually closer. But then we watched this video on YouTube of this much elderly couple, and the wife was so gassy that the older gentleman was just like, I can't handle it anymore. So he had to try to invent like carbon underwear for her so they could just be in the same room together. And then this is very similar. Like, I mean, if you love your partner, but they love to drink beer and eat red meat, they're going to have some stinky ass farts.
Yeah, was that the Chetties, the carbon underwear out of the UK? Big fan of the brand.
Oh, I forgot the name. Yeah, there's a couple of them, but I don't know if that was the exact brand name, but similar. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is, I think the more of those products people can use at once, the better.
Yeah.
If they're stinky.
Yours is like a total party favor, I feel like, too. Like, I could just see that at a party. Like, someone's like, check this out. Like, what is that?
I mean, if you want to wear a thong or boxers, it still works.
Yeah.
There
you don't need the whitey tighties are kind of mandatory for the carbon undies to work. So not everyone likes those.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, this was definitely intended to be, an easy gift to give.
Yeah, it is.
We were on another podcast too, the SDR show, and I had to fart in front of the host's face, and I wore a diaper, and I brought Fart Vac with me and talked, and they were like, "What is that?" And I was like, "It's to help."
Yeah. So you got a little plug there on the pretty big show. So hopefully someone will be like, "Oh, yeah, Fart Vac, nice. Gonna use that." Got some birthdays coming up.
Yeah.
Maybe an anniversary. Who knows?
Yeah, when this episode comes out, it'll still be summertime. So all you people who have those crazy barbecues and you know you're going to be farting afterwards, Labor Day, and then all the holidays coming up.
Bring this with you.
Yeah. You know you have that farter in your life.
Yeah. We all do.
It's a great litmus test on a first date.
Woo.
See if like, why waste your time?
Yeah.
Completely.
Try a car ride.
Yeah. That's a keeper. If they're like, this is hilarious, then like, okay, day 2's coming up real quick.
Yes. Totally.
Oh God, it's so funny.
Oh my God, yeah. And is there, we can buy it on your website. Is there anything else? Like, do your kids weaponize it against each other?
They do, but not just not just shooting their farts. They also they whip each other with the tubes. So that's a whole other issue. This is entrepreneurship up close for them. It's been an interesting thing for them to see made in their home. But it's the kind of house we are.
Nice.
And it's also on Amazon, so you can buy this on Amazon.
Excellent.
When I was a kid, my brother used to fart in Tupperware and close the lid. And then when we went to different schools. I'd come home from school after him, and I'd sit down on the couch, and he'd open up the Tupperware in front of my face. It was disgusting. And I just keep thinking with your Fart Vac, I just need to like drill a hole in the top of a mason jar, and then I can just keep filling the jar with farts with your contraption. And then I'm going to bomb my brother so badly now that we're in our 40s, like just really get him back for all those years of torture.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be.
Yeah. Or if he takes a nap, just park nearby and just keep pumping him over.
Yeah.
He keeps waking up.
Remove the filter.
Like, what?
Yes.
He's like, what's that odor?
All of a sudden, we're on the news. I killed my brother with my gas.
Yeah. Charges have been pressed.
Methane gas.
You're in jail. That would totally be like in the New York Post article.
I'd be on all of the murder podcasts as the methane murderer.
Yeah. Oh my God. The fart killer.
The fart killer.
You would definitely be. You'd be a big hit. I feel like like a Netflix special, or like reenactments, whatever those shows.
Oh, I want a Lifetime movie about being the methane murderer.
Exactly. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be great.
Ooh, I see a short film in our future.
Try that and see what happens. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, too funny. So can we ask you some questions?
Absolutely.
What kind of toilet paper do you use, and do you put it on the roll over or under?
We are a quilted Charmin on the premium end, and I can't recall the Kirkland brand on the volume budget brand.
Yes.
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Always over. I think the under makes no sense from an engineering perspective. I will argue that one. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense at all. But people have their habits. So, But always over. And the occasional 1,000 sheet roll, but definitely prefer the premium product. This is not an area to skip, people.
Yeah. So do you put the premium TP in the parents' bathroom, and like the kids get the Kirkland?
We get the more premium of the Kirkland, and I think it's more of just where you're shopping. It's hard to say no to the huge Costco supply. So you try and have one of those on hand, and then supplement with the smaller packages. But we certainly were not one of these people who ran out and bought like 12 cases when COVID was hitting.
Oh yeah, that was insane.
Yeah,
I still that just people are gonna look back in history and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know what people are doing with all that. And Dave, I wanted to ask you, what this bidet you used, like been fascinated by the idea of a expensive Japanese toilet, but
Oh yeah,
I've refused the cold water bidet. Are you like a cold water guy?
Well, the first Snap-on one I had, it had both. It was hot and cold.
Okay.
The only reason we switched it out, we had Ellen's plumber on the show, and he suggested I switch it out because it was a plastic tube that connected to the water source. So I had to get a braided hose. And the new version, I just opted for the cold. Reason being was in my apartment, to get to the hot water source was like a total pain in the ass, and I just didn't feel like dealing with all that. So now I'm just like so used to the cold that it actually, I think the warm thing would freak me out a little bit. Like I'm so used to the cold that it just doesn't like, it feels way more refreshing. And I've used bidets with the warm water on, and that's fine and everything, but I feel like I'm just not, I don't know. I mean, it's more like a perceived thing, but I think it's just, I just don't feel as clean.
But also, you're not like taking a bath in that water. It's a quick squirt.
Well, no, true, but I prefer the cold. I mean, but I think that's mainly because that's the way I've had it hooked up since I've bought it.
His butthole is just too hot. He needs to cool that shit down.
I guess with all the spicy food you eat, that might make sense.
Exactly. Well, I got to tell you, a couple times it has come in handy where I'm like, oh my God, thank the Lord.
Put a cold pack on that hemorrhoid.
Thank the toilet gods that there's actually some like cold relief going on down there.
Yeah. But there is those fancy Japanese toilets that cost thousands and thousands of dollars, but there are so many. I could send you a list. There are ones of all different price ranges. Like you could buy like a $500 Snap-on bidet that has a heating, drying functions.
And you can
too,
control the temperatures, and they even have like this little wand now. It looks like basically like sits in the back of your toilet. You just fill it with water yourself. It's battery or USB powered, I believe, and you just like use that. And then you can
there's so many different ones.
So you don't have to worry about snapping anything on. You just pop on the back. So it's like there's a lot of options out there.
I know someone who had a run-in with the toilet in Japan. He pressed the wrong button and went to flush after number one and had to block the spray with a tie. Business function.
Oh my God, that is the best. I can actually see that. I mean, that thing looks nuts. Those Toto toilets, like this, it looks like a spaceship. Or a space toilet or something. It's got a lot of options.
Which just sucks in Japan because it's all in Japanese. So for us non-Japanese speaking people, I have been there. I have done it. I have pushed the wrong button. I pushed hot air blowing on my diarrhea squirting butthole, which was not a great combination. And I couldn't get the hot air function to stop. But yeah.
I mean,
but your shirt was dry when you...
Yeah.
It was. Shirt was dry.
It was splattered, but it was dry.
But it was not making that smell any better.
Oh, I'm sure.
No.
It's pushing it right up into your nostrils.
Yeah.
It's like awful.
Taking a hairdryer to shit.
I imagine if I'm spending thousands of dollars and I'm going to Toto.com or whatever the website is, I'm like, yeah, can I get an English version of this? There must be. There's no...
Yes, there is.
Although I would take Toto, if you're listening, I will take a free or highly discounted toilet in Japanese. I'll just learn the language for that
Google
toilet.
Translate.
I have no problem with that. So if you want to send one that it's just, maybe it's like an old model laying around in the warehouse, I'll take it. I'll pay for shipping.
What's your first memory of poops and farts? And I know you talked about your parents are German, so I have to kind of go there too. Like having German parents, because we've heard the, sorry to say, stereotype that Germans are a little bit more comfortable about talking about Scheiße. Were your German parents cool with poop farts while you were growing up?
Yeah, Scheiße is no problem. Really, I honestly I started thinking about this when I heard some of your other podcast episodes, and I really don't have any early childhood memories of pooping and kind of good, or it was just kind of just something you did. It was just normal.
Yeah.
Wow. And I do think my parents never shared German parents not sharing my humor for farts probably isn't a huge surprise, but yeah, it really was just never like a big deal. But
they obviously, it sounds like there was no shame either.
No shame. It was just, kind
it's
of
like
normal.
a thing. Yeah, exactly. It's like a bodily function. You do it, and then that's it. I had a kind of similar experience with my family. Like I had like those parts of my life that I remember like laughing, or my parents like kind of like, oh my God, but they never like joked about farts. Never joked about poop. They just kind of like, I don't need to know about that. But every once in a while, my dad would like kind of laugh when he would fart, but like that was like very rare. So for me, it was always like, I guess we're not talking about this. You know, ironic. We have a show about this, but yeah, I had a very similar.
The complete opposite.
Yeah, you were like your family celebrated that, or your dad did.
Yeah. My dad literally would come home from work and fart in my face when I was in the bassinet. Yeah.
People at home Tarrant had the best like reaction to that. That was really funny.
He rolled his eyes and giggled. Yeah.
It's funny.
I've certainly embraced it with my kids, but never. I haven't weaponized it.
How old are your kids?
As young as 4 and as old as 7. So.
Oh yeah, that's a great ages for
little.
farts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fart all the time.
Oh my God, it must be like so much giggling towards that.
Oh yeah.
I would be dying. That's funny.
I mean, that's the age group also where, because farting was so important in my family with my dad, bonding wise, that my brother and I would shit our pants trying to squeeze out farts in front of him.
Yeah.
That is a risk. That's actually something the Fart Vac warns against. We can't help you if that happens.
Oh, that's when you have to get a new Fart Vac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does not help with sharts.
No. You're like, time for a new tube.
Is there anything out there that helps you with pooping besides your fancy toilet paper? Do you have sprays, a stool, whatever?
Coffee, reading material. I mean, I'm the typical man who takes his time in there, much to the chagrin of the family at times. But
yeah,
that's really nothing special beyond that.
Coffee's a big one. I feel like a lot of guests we talk to, coffee's like that's the thing.
I know. I'm dying to know the real science behind that. Like, why is that the thing that triggers?
Is it the caffeine, possibly?
Any stimulant apparently causes things to move.
I have a theory or hypothesis, because a theory means that it's true. I have a hypothesis that it's caffeine makes you have an adrenaline rush, and adrenaline rush sometimes makes you shit your pants. So like, I feel like that's the,
possibly. I mean, I just think it's like people that do like cocaine, apparently, that they do that and they have to take a shit like right after.
Yeah, but sometimes that's mixed with baby laxatives, so that's why.
But I'm just saying, like, it's a stimulant. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just think that, like, I don't drink coffee, so I don't know.
But then there's still like the people who just smell coffee and they have to go shit because it's like Pavlovian dog, So.
Yeah, I don't know.
Coffee's magical in this area. That's all.
Clearly, I mean, it works. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it works for me too. And you don't use anything else for smell? You just let.
I mean, we have some poopery, but that's not for me to use.
You're like old school.
You're like, I want my family to smell my essence.
I'll turn on a ceiling fan if there's one available. But
yeah,
that's.
I will say the sprays are great for like the pre-dump sprays are great, but sometimes I just like, I got to get in there and I don't have time to especially when the spray gets like at that certain angle where you can't get the liquid to spray out, you got to like unscrew the whole cap. I'm like, no, and this needs to happen right now.
Yep.
I just don't like the chemical smells of sprays, and I'm with you guys. It makes a worse new smell. The Hey Poopy matches, that makes sense.
Yeah, matches. I think probably the best solution, because, like I always say, ass always wins.
But sometimes fire wins over ass.
Yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of, because the sulfur is like canceling it out somehow. But matches I think are usually the best bet.
Yeah.
Or some kind of smoke. Start a fire in your bathroom. Oh.
And what's your best cure for diarrhea or constipation, if you have either of those?
Certainly have never had constipation.
Lucky.
But I would say if I did, I'd throw a lot of fiber at it. Hope for the best. And for diarrhea, either Pepto or Imodium AD.
Yeah.
Both work.
I do the Imodium when I travel. Pepto's a little. I mean, Pepto is. I just the pink stuff freaks me out so much. But again, I'll take either if in a pinch, if need be.
I love the taste of Pepto.
Oh,
I love that chalky shit.
Oh my god!
I don't know why.
It almost makes me like
gag,
puke, and then I'm like, like when you that liquid. Oh, it's just so disgusting. But
I love it.
No thanks. We should do a show on that.
I don't think it tastes bad. I mean, I know that you can get black poo from it, which is a little
and
weird.
A black tongue. Like if you,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I as a kid had the most fucked up stomach. It was either stop or go. So I would constantly be chewing on Pepto Bismol before I go to bed. And if you wake up the next morning, I mean now they have Pepto in a pill that you just swallow so you don't chew it. But if you chew it up, your entire tongue will be black the next day. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah, so I mean, you put your 10,000 hours in this. That's why it probably taste doesn't bother you. Or do you actually like the taste?
I actually like it. Like if there was Pepto flavored candy, I'd totally eat it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Our guest is
I haven't
rolling his
eaten much
eyes
of it,
like.
but I don't find it bad.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm totally disgusted.
Maybe that's why I like it so much because it's like comforting. Like it always fixes my problems.
Yeah. I look at it as like that's last resort. Like we're doing this. Okay, here we go. Pinch the nose.
That's how I view apple cider vinegar. That's something I just can't. Whatever health benefits that has, I'll never find out.
Oh, I 100% agree with you. I tried to go through that. That's so
that
gross.
doesn't bother me.
Oh. But I don't really like vinegar, like vinegar-based salad dressings. I just think
really?
they're gross.
Love that shit.
I love lemon. Put lemon on everything. Fuck vinegar.
Oh God, you're crazy. That is like.
The only thing I like vinegar is vinegar, salt, and chips. Salt.
All right.
Yeah.
There
But
you go.
no.
Okay. To each their own, right?
So our most important question of the hour. You know it's coming because if you've been listening to the show. Pants or floor, sir? If you're a Bristol 7 coming out, which do you choose?
Floor every time.
Yes. And has it happened to you?
No.
Oh.
Wow.
No.
You are. That is like you're one of the few out in the show that's never happened to.
You've never pooped
I mean,
your
I've had
pants?
plenty of close calls where I'm, coming in hot, not stopping to talk to anyone, making a beeline. But even that, pretty predictable in this area. So, thankfully, knock on wood.
Yeah,
hasn't
knock on
been
that
an
wood, my
issue.
friend.
But if it is ever an issue, it's going to be floor. No way. Not that.
Well, if you do either, please tell us.
You might have to come back on the show and be like, I'm a changed man now.
I hope we don't have to make that episode.
Yeah, me either.
We never wish it on anybody, but it makes for great
if it does,
podcasting.
You're going to come back on the show. You're going to have like a full beard. You're going to be like, woo, things have happened, guys. Yeah, but let's let's put that out there. No, we don't want that to happen.
And we know you're married. How does your significant other deal with the fart vac, farting, all of this stuff? Can you talk about poop?
Oh, certainly talk about it. She's quite open. I think she would like the inventory in the garage to, start to sell.
Yeah.
I think that would be her main feedback. She thinks, fairly ridiculous idea, was pretty supportive. Is waiting for the market to catch on and see it do what we had hoped. But she's pretty darn supportive of it.
Oh, it's amazing. Nice. I like that.
That's good, especially when you have kids. I feel like poop and farts come with kids. Territory.
I was gonna say, like, you have 3 kids, like that discussion's like you're in it.
Yeah.
From day one.
Yeah, we're pretty medically open with them.
Nice.
We talk about the body's natural functions pretty openly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, you have to. We have so many parents have been on the show, and they were like, "I did not realize how much shit was going to be in my life."
Yeah.
Until I had a child.
Oh yeah.
I'm just thinking, like I don't have children, neither does Ellen, but like friends of mine, like the second they either get a new baby or get when they have a new baby or get like a puppy or something like that, it's just like all consuming poop talk. It's like they went from no poop talk to like, oh yeah, it's just in the mix constantly.
Well, and I mean, I still remember with my first child, like I had never changed a diaper, and nurses did the first couple in the hospital, and it's like, eventually you're going to have to figure this out, man. There's a lot of poop coming. And so you go from that being a very strange thing that you never thought you'd have to deal with to something that you're just like dealing with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
By the third kid, you could literally,
oh my God,
like multitask.
You're like on your phone while you're changing the diaper, like taking a Zoom
There's
meeting.
Yeah. You're truly an expert by then.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt on that one. Oh my goodness.
And do you have anything else to add to us? Any great stories, even if like potty training your children?
My children, I know you said all these people had children that were tough to potty train. Mine were pretty easy. I recommend the naked weekend or naked week, whatever it takes. Just once they have clothes off of them, they kind of seem to figure it out. That was our trick.
Tell me more about this. I don't know this technique.
They're used to pooping in a diaper or peeing in a diaper, and once you remove it and they're just in the open air, I don't know. It's enough of a change that they want to figure that out, and they have to be ready. You got to make sure you're ready. You don't want to force this. Some kids get really freaked out if you make too big of a deal out of it. We're definitely let our kids pee in the yard. That's recently backfired. The preschool one of my kids goes to 25 years, they never had anyone just drop trow outside, and we were the ones who broke that ice.
Was it a boy?
It was a boy. Yeah.
I was about to say.
I mean, my daughter squatted outside too. It was not, in the summer, I guess you didn't want to have to go inside. It was acceptable in where we are.
I love it. That's great.
But yeah. Definitely had, kids who, we kept a little spare, these little plastic children's potties in the trunk of a car. And, when they're first learning, they don't give you much warning. So there's definitely been some dumps taken in a minivan, high point of fatherhood right there. Back-to-back dumps in a plastic potty in the middle of a parking lot. Good stuff like that.
Oh my God, I can just totally see
I
that.
have plenty of poop stories, but we go on forever.
Well, that's why we're here. If you have any that like floating to the top.
No, I think the worst recent poop story. We all, as a family, contracted the coronavirus, COVID-19.
Oh, sorry.
And fortunately, we were pretty careful, didn't give it to anyone and all that. And my kids, so my wife was isolating herself. She's the one who got it first. And my kids all had just horrible diarrhea. And I was dealing with it all by myself. Able to smell and taste fully throughout all this. Sharding and they were totally fine. They had no other symptoms other than diarrhea. And as soon as they were totally cleared up and back to normal, that's when I lost my smell and taste and got my own coronavirus.
You're like, I lose it?
I mean, if I didn't already hate what COVID-19, that really made me despise it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just the ironic order of infection that it chose. It's not fair.
Yeah, we had a colorectal surgeon on, and she lost her smell for like months. And while she was up somebody's ass, she said it came back, and she was like, "Great, this is not the time for it to come back." Yeah,
it's
bad timing.
The irony in that though is just it's pretty classic though. You're like, of all the things, I know I still have this smell, and you're like, great, now everything's back to normal, and yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry, your kids were big shitty mess.
Yeah, I mean they were fine otherwise. But boy, a lot of poop.
Can't even imagine. Oh my God. 3 of them too. That is a lot. Well,
Yeah.
I say we get into our
Shitty
little
choices?
segment, Shitty Choices. Shitty Choices. So Ellen actually sent this to me. I mean, it's so good. I was reading this to my wife, and we were just debating about this choice. So basically, this game, we play with our guests. You have 2 horrible choices, and you got to pick one. So
It's like a Sophie's Choice, but
Kinda.
even worse.
it's like, would you rather? It's all those things. But this is horrible. This one specifically is like the worst thing ever. And it was on Twitter from ITZ Pandemonium. So if you follow them, check it out. Anyway, the questions are the choices are: would you rather eat poop that tastes and smells like chocolate pudding, or would you rather eat chocolate pudding that tastes and smells like poop? Awful question.
That's a weird question. I don't.
Super weird.
But I'd rather eat chocolate pudding for sure. I mean, that's
That tastes like poop.
That tastes like
it's-
poop.
Yeah, but it's not. But it's healthy
Yeah,
to
that's.
eat. It's not full of bacteria that's going to make you
Thank you.
sick. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
went with,
the scientific side of me has to answer.
yeah, no, I'm with you. I went with the same thing, even though that would be just so. Oh my God! Just the thought of that is just the smell.
Okay, what did your wife say, Dave?
She did the same thing. She went with chocolate. At first, I was like, I went with your initial one,
Yeah.
but then I was like, no. Let me back that up. But yeah, she thought same thing. My wife was like, chocolate pudding that tastes and smells like poop.
I still would go with the shit. I'm eating shit that tastes because let me just like
I don't know. I'm sorry. I just laughing.
I'm sorry, but I know my gag reflexes. If I go to spoon up the pudding to my mouth and it smells and tastes like shit, I'm going to vomit. So if I have to eat one of these 2 things, I have to eat it. I'd rather eat the thing that tastes better.
Yeah, I mean, logically, it totally makes sense. I'm with you. That's what I first thought. But
Bacteria also doesn't sound great. But a lot of people we know, we've had some like people who forced consumption on the show. They didn't get that sick from it. I feel like a little bit of shit. Me eating a little bit of shit is not going to be as bad.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I have no words for that. I'm gonna go with the chocolate because I know it's chocolate pudding at least. Like, it's like I know it's chocolate pudding, and depending on the,
Your
who
taste
knows-
buds are going to
and
say
who-
the opposite.
And who knows? I mean, look, shit smells, but I mean, like, it could be like one of those shits that maybe is not as bad.
Nope. There's no such thing as a shit that's not that
I'm just
bad.
saying that, like, I'm going with the chocolate pudding.
I mean, realistically, someone can create chocolate pudding that tastes and smells
Yeah.
like shit.
Easy.
Scientifically, that's possible. But no one's going to create shit that tastes and smells like chocolate pudding. So
Also a reason
I'm not
maybe
too-
why I want to try it.
Oh my God!
I
Someone,
mean, if it
please,
existed, yeah.
please, someone out there, oh my God, if they could just develop that somehow.
It's like those jelly beans from Harry Potter that they now make. There's like ones that taste like vomit and boogers and stuff.
Oh,
You're getting grossed out by that, but you're willing
Yeah.
to eat the pudding that tastes like shit?
I'm just in this context. Yeah, we have to.
No. I'm fine.
I always thought the root beer jelly beans were bad.
Ugh.
I mean,
I hate root
that's
beer, too.
a whole new level.
Yeah. Oh God, I hate root beer.
But yeah, I think even the most beautiful, cleanest eating individual isn't going to have poo that tastes good. So
Well, if they do, give us a call at 203-998-5579
Yeah,
and
if
let us
somebody
know.
can find poo that tastes like
Holy
pudding
shit.
or pudding that tastes like poo, we'll do it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Woohoo! So yeah, we'll put that up on Twitter and on Instagram, and you guys out there can vote.
Yeah, and the person who tweeted this, I wrote back to them and I was like, I need to ask this on the show. Can I use this? And he was like, yes, inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, the best at the end of that little tweet, it said, "I must know," which is like the funniest thing ever. So, okay, well, so Tara and I are for the chocolate pudding. Ellen is for the poop. And then we'll see what the rest of our listeners out there have to say. And we'll get back to you on that one.
Yes.
We're going to do a little news segment. I don't know who sent
Does
this to
not
me.
look familiar.
And I am like, I think the reason I don't remember is because it's so disgusting. But doctors remove a 13-kilogram portion of feces-filled colon to save a man's life.
No.
This was in Shanghai, China. Doctors were forced, oh my God, to remove 13 kilograms, which is 6.6 pounds, by the way, for those of you that don't know your metric system. This guy was suffering from a rare bowel condition.
I just text you the picture so you can see it.
It is ridiculous. It looks
like out of a horror movie.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of weird, like, mutant. Zhao Hai, he was 22, really young, and he had been suffering from this for like some really bad constipation, and it got to the point where he couldn't breathe.
Oh my God.
Yeah, all he could do was moan in pain, could barely talk. A CT scan revealed that there was feces stored in his colon. A 3-hour operation. They pulled this thing out. Like I said before, 13 kilograms, 6.6 pounds, and 2.5 feet long. That is so disgusting. And he told the doctors he suffered from constipation pretty much his whole life, but this is like the worst it's ever been. And it turns out he's got some very specific condition called Hirschsprung's disease. It's a birth defect that results in missing nerve cells in the muscles of a baby's colon. It's usually detected like right away, but this thing went undetected. And this poor guy, like, almost like just, I mean, it was bad.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it said it had gotten so bad, like, 3 days before the operation, he was forced to seek treatment because the abdominal pain was just so much. And he usually just, to, like, fix it, he takes laxatives. That's what he's done his whole life. But it didn't work this time. But it's very life-threatening.
Yes.
I mean, like, just, oh my God. So, if you're feeling like those abdominal pains that they won't go away, go talk to your doctor because you don't want to get Hirschsprung's disease.
Well, also with Carrie last week, she had her colon cancer explode inside of her, and she almost died of feces floating around inside of her. I mean, like, this is all very serious. And find a doctor that believes in your symptoms.
I mean, this guy was 22.
Oh my God, that's too young.
And having to deal with all this stuff. But, I mean, I'm just like 6.6 pounds, 2.5 feet long. That's a lot of poop. Or feces.
Thing.
Yeah, so, anyway. With that horrible news story. Terry, thank you so much for being on our show, man. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. It was great to be here, and yeah, that's a tough picture to see.
Yeah,
definitely use use your doctor out there, folks.
Oh yeah, talk to your doctors because that is awful.
I meant to ask you guys if you had ever heard the term double-facing chi-chi gong. So my brother had a professor, and this is at a community college, who told him that there is this thing called the double-facing chi-chi gong, which is the perfect poop.
Wow.
And it is a poop that in one single piece goes all the way around the entire the entire circumference of the bowl and stops just touching itself. A full perfect circle. And I had never heard of this before.
Me either.
One of my kids once had pretty close to the textbook definition. But I'm curious if the experts had ever heard of this.
A double-facing chi-chi gong?
That sounds like some crazy drink, fruit bowl kind of drink, or some ridiculous like chain restaurants food, like some kind of dish. But it kind of has a vibe to it.
I feel like we see some merch in the future saying that on it.
I can't.
A T-shirt.
That is like the most hilarious name for that, by the way. I mean, a double-facing chi-chi gong.
Yeah, if you guys make the merch with a picture, I'd like to get him one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We should make.
We will send you one.
Perfect circle. The words that go around.
Oh yeah, this is fantastic. Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah.
Just obviously people who listen to this show can hear Fart Vac commercials on our show, but once again, please tell the audience where they can find you.
You can find Fart Vac on Amazon or at fartvac.com.
Woo!
There you go, people. Awesome.
And if you have any more questions, please call us at 203-998-5579 or email us at
heypoopypodcast@gmail.com, and you can leave questions. If you want to leave fart sound effects or farts that you're actually producing yourself, we'll play it on the show. So,
or if you bought Fart Vac and you want to send us a video of you using it, please, we want to see.
Oh my God, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We want to see that product out there.
Yes.
So again, thanks again, Turd. You're the
Yes.
best.
Thank you guys. It's great to be here.
No problem. And thanks for laughing and learning all things butt.
And happy pooping, everybody, and enjoy your butthole.
Hey Poopy Podcast is brought to you by Perfect 4 Entertainment. Produced by Dave and Ellen, with executive producer Stormy Leather. Edited by me, Dave.
For more information, go to heypoopypodcast.com for episodes, merch, and more. Follow us on Instagram at Hey Poopy Podcast and Twitter at Hey Poopy. Theme song by Jordan Perlson. Hey Poopy.